Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about why I think the Washington football team's defense will be even scarier in 2021 and why I think it will be one of the top defenses in the NFL. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and please hit that like button and turn on those notifications. It helps out a ton. So as many of you guys know, the Washington football team's defense last year was ranked second in the entire NFL in yards per game, which, they improved so much under Jack Del Rio, because in 2019, I think they were like 27th or the 28th ranked defense in the NFL, and they went all the way to second, which is absolutely amazing. And they were still pretty solid if you look at points per game allowed, fourth overall, and that's with playing with a bad offense who last year they gave the ball up a lot, and a lot of 3 and outs. So they did a really good job last year. Some critics will say a lot of backup quarterbacks, and that is true. So we'll see how they do this year against there's a lot of great quarterbacks that they will be playing. Obviously, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Patrick Mahomes, possibly Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott twice, and a couple other solid quarterbacks as well. But they had a great year last year, and I think this defense will be elite this year. But I also think they will be better this season, better than they were last year. And maybe they won't be the second ranked defense in the NFL, which I think they could. But I think overall, as a unit, they will be better than they were last year, even if the stats don't show it. And that'll be because they're playing much much competition. So, the reasons why I think they're going to be even better and why they will be an elite defense this year, they had obviously a great defensive line last year with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, and Jonathan Allen. Those guys are all super young, especially Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Daron Payne. They will continue, especially in the next couple of years, they will continue to get better and better, and I expect a huge jump from Chase Young. I expect Montez Sweat to continue to get better. Same thing with Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. This is their second year in this system, and for the whole defense, this is their second year in Jack Del Rio's system, or at least for most of them, because some of them are new to this team. But overall, I think that also will help them improve this year. But Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, I expect them to still take another big jump, especially Chase Young this year. I expect them to have an absolute monster season for the Washington football team. And one guy that the Washington football team was missing last year, defensive lineman Matt Ioannidis, who did get hurt in week 3 against the Browns, but he had 1.5 sacks in that game against the Eagles, and was one of our best pass rushers the last few years. You look at this right here, he had a 24% win rate, which was 5th amongst interior pass rushers in 2019, and an 84.6 pass rush grade, which was 7th. So he is super underrated, and I think having him back will definitely help us get to the quarterback a little bit better. It'll also help us in the run game, and also, Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne are going to be able to get some, breathers. They're all going to be rotating in, and they will all be well rested, which is really going to help this defensive line. And I think this defensive line is going to be even better than they were last year. And the defensive line was strong last year, but so honestly was our cornerbacks, our safeties, our whole secondary was definitely better than I thought. And of course, some of that obviously a lot of that had to do with our great defensive line, but they still made some plays, and we did lose Ronald Darby, but we ended up going out in free agency, signing the best cornerback available in William Jackson. I really like this signing for the Washington football team. Obviously, played for the Bengals, got drafted by them, first round pick, and he had some really good years with the Bengals. His best year was 2017, but still the last couple years had some good years, especially this year. Played in 14 games, started all of them, had 1 interception, 11 passes defended, 1 tackle for a loss, and you look at the advanced stats, they're even better. Only allowed a 51% completion percentage and an 88.2 pass rating, and this is against all of the number 1 receivers, and he did a pretty good job locking a lot of them down. And one thing that's going to help out William Jackson a lot, and it's going to I think it pairs well William Jackson with this defense, is that we have a great defensive line, which he's had some solid defensive lines in the past, but never had an elite defensive line like Washington has right now. So I think that's going to help him, and he might have his best season of his career. He's also a solid tackler, only an 8% missed tackling percentage. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. I think this defensive line is going to make him even better. And the drafting of Benjamin St-Juste and the signing of William Jackson will allow us to play a little bit more man coverage, and ideally in a couple years, or maybe even this year if Benjamin St-Juste is ready, we have Benjamin St-Juste and William Jackson as the starters on the outside, and Kendall Fuller, we slide him into the inside. That would be ideal. I would absolutely love that. So that's another reason, obviously, why I think the Washington football team's defense will be better in 2021. Another reason why, our linebacking core was not great last year at all. And we ended up drafting Jamin Davis, in the first round. I think he's going to definitely help out our linebacking core. He might struggle a little bit early on, but I still think it's going to be better than the linebacker play that we got last year. And I also think Cole Holcomb will improve this year. We missed, him for like 4 or 5 games last year. If he's fully healthy, I expect him to take another big jump this year. And Jamin Davis, we'll see if he, it'll be interesting to see if he, indeed is our middle linebacker, or if he starts out as our Will and Bostic is our middle linebacker. But I think regardless, he'll be an upgrade over what we had last year. And I think Khaleke Hudson and Cole Holcomb will also help us out a lot. And again, with this whole defense, it's most of their second year in the system, which will also help out. And then we also signed Bobby McCain, which I think will be a great addition to the secondary if he starts at free safety, or he's a slot cornerback for us, or both, which honestly could be the case. I think he was a great addition for very, very cheap. I think that's going to help out the Washington football team a lot. Even if he's not the starter, I think it's great depth for very, very cheap price. And that's what I like about the Washington football team this year, what they did on offense and defense in free agency. Got some depth. We got some great depth at the safety position. Do still need some depth at other positions on the defense, but overall they are shaping up to a absolutely great unit. And I think even with the really tough schedule that they do have, I think they will be an elite defense, probably a top 3 defense in the NFL this year. Even like I said, with the quarterbacks they play, I love Jack Del Rio. It's second year in his system is going to help out a lot of these players. Also, Cameron Curl in his second year, expect him to take another jump. And also, you have to think, we missed like 6 games out of him. He still did play in the Buffalo nickel position, but he played a lot less. So if he starts a strong safety, that's going to also help him out a ton. This defense is going to be scary this year. Chase Young also, last year, he missed, he only missed a game and 3 quarters, but he was playing hurt for 5 or 6 games or more last season. So again, he is going to take a huge jump, mark my words, 12.5 sacks or more at least if he plays 16 games. I think he's going to have a great year. But I think as long as they stay healthy, this defense will be elite, especially after the guys they're getting back and signed in free agency with William Jackson, Bobby McCain, and Matt Ioannidis coming back. And some of these young players, our whole defense pretty much, a lot of these guys are super young, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, Cameron Curl, and I'm missing a bunch of others too. Benjamin St. Juste, who we don't know yet how he's going to be, but he's been looking super good in minicamp and OTA so far. So let me know how you feel about the Washington football team's defense going into 2021. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace.